Hello everybody, and welcome to the CCA League Season 2 playoffs. I am DRF and I will be your host and commentator for this match here between these two Division 3 teams. So this is going to be a fantastic matchup between the #1 seed out of Group B, the Grizzco Workers Union, out of Worcester Polytechnic Institute. They're going to be taking on UH Premier from the University of Houston. So both of these teams have had quite the journey to get to this spot that they are in now. Taking a look at the path that both of these teams had taken, the Grizzco Workers Union going 5-0 in their group stage. Definitely one of the more dominant performances that we have seen this season, going 4-1 against the Titans of Alterna, the second seed in their group. So that's already a statement in of itself. Following that up in week 2 with a 4-0 performance over Equinox, going 4-0 over DSU Splat Team, 4-0 over MSU White, and following that up with a 4-1 victory over Spartan Inc. Axolotl Airlines. So very dominant in their regular season, going overall 20-2. But on the side of UH Premier out of the University of Houston, they are looking at 4-1 in the regular season. And their only loss coming against Daybreak in that group out of the University of Texas, Austin. So taking a look at UH Premier, their path to this stage, coming from if you had caught this week 1, it was our very first set stream of the season. UH Premier taking a 7-game thriller over Griffink, following that up with a 2-4 loss to Daybreak. So Daybreak being that #1 seed in Group A, an excellent performance there, but falling a little bit short. 4-0 over UCSD Esports Navy, 4-0 against OC Eagles, and finally 4-3, another 7-game thriller against the Wildcats of Arizona. So UH Premier really had to scrap their way to be in this position, winning 2 7-game thrillers in the regular season, and now going up against probably the scariest opponent that they have faced yet. Looking at stats comparable to Daybreak, with the Grizzco Workers Union. So this is going to certainly be a fun one to watch, to see how these two teams square up against each other. So game #1 though, we are going to be headed over to Splat Zones on Wahoo World. All divisions are playing the same semifinals set. So we're going to be kicking it off with Splat Zones Wahoo like we have in the previous sets that we had showcased, I was going to say earlier, but yesterday. And we will continue to do so through the rest of the week as we try to get a hold of some more semifinal matches before our championship weekend stream that will be coming up December 3rd and 4th. So these teams are just about ready to roll as we dive into game #1, Splat Zones on Wahoo World. All right, so taking a look here, we have the Grizzco Workers Union in pink, and UH Premier is going to be in the green. And let's take a look at some of these compositions. So we do have RKT Fuel rocking that Hydra, but they're going to be going up against an E-Leader. The Hydra, definitely an excellent weapon to go with on Wahoo World. But when you're going up against an E-Leader, that's going to be something very difficult to deal with. As now we are going to see the Grizzco Workers Union taking early command of the zone, but not going to be able to hold on to it for long, as now it is going to be UH Premier that gets control, and very quickly it's going to be Grizzco back in control. And wow, this is an absolute bloodbath that we are looking at here, folks. And that's going to be the wipeout. UH Premier getting completely shut down there. And now it's going to be the Grizzco Workers Union who are going to find themselves in an opportunity to start locking out this game. A little bit of back and forth that we saw in that first minute. But now it seems like one team has definitely taken control here. But no, it's going to be UH Premier that finds 2 picks there and is going to flip the zone back in their favor. I think possibly maybe a missed opportunity for the Grizzco Workers Union to force the lockout there and give themselves an opportunity to run away with this game early on. UH Premier, though, now bringing this all the way down to 75 remaining, but not going to be able to respond with any sort of lockout themselves as the Grizzco Workers Union fight back and take control of this zone, slapping on that 18-point penalty to the University of Houston. But look at these picks. It's just constant trade for trade here. And no, this is a very precarious jump, but it's going to result in a dodge roll out of the way, able to buy their team a little bit of time there. But with some crab fighting going on, it's going to be the Grizzco Workers Union that win out for now. This zone going back to neutral, but no, it's going to be 2 members down. And oh, very clutch pick there by Trudero, who's going to get shut down now, so make this a delayed wipe actually. So a great, pick there to hopefully keep UH Premier alive in this game, but ultimately gets shut down and turned into a delayed wipe. But now take a look at this. It's going to be the Tri-Zuka that is coming out along with that Reef Slider, and that's going to neutralize the zone, but not going to be able to cap it, as now it's UH Premier that finds themselves 2 down. Make that 3 down. That's a delayed wipe. So Grizzco Union, with less than 10 points to go here, will run away with game number 1. Wow. A lot of back and forth we saw there in this first game. But ultimately, it was the Grizzco Workers Union that were able to finally get a little bit of control there. And we're able to start staggering the members of UH Premier. And oh, there we go. We are going to get that quad dab as well in celebration. So every time Grizzco Workers Union pull out a game here, they gotta hit them with the dabs. So, taking a look as these teams start to sort themselves out, we will have a member of the Grizzco Workers Union backing out. And we will have someone else joining in. They are a union after all, so lots of people supporting them here. And it looks like it is going to be Garrett that comes in there. I believe that was for Justin Krona. I forgot who the 4th member was. But substitutions being made here. Grizzco Workers Union, a team that is 8 strong, one of the biggest rosters in this league. 8 being the maximum capacity, but definitely utilizing all of those different parts. So fantastic to see. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and get geared up here for game number 2, Clamblitz Mahi Mahi Resort. So Clamblitz Mahi, a very interesting map mode. I really do believe that this is the best mode for Mahi Mahi Resort. It's a very polarizing map in this community, but Clamblitz, I think, does this map some justice. The baskets are, require some fair coordination to get to. The water levels changing don't affect things on this map too much. I think they definitely continue to keep things interesting as the game progresses. But it's certainly, going to require a fair bit of team coordination, and I don't think things, tend to spiral too much here as they do in other modes. But let's take a look at these compositions. The heavy splatling coming out on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union in yellow. And that's going to be a brush from Garrett as well. A fantastic choice of weapon, and I could certainly see why they made the substitution that they did. So both of these teams playing a little bit more aggressive with these compositions. UH Premier in the pink, trying to utilize that blaster as well to sort of work around some of these corners and ledges, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union. This push seems just about over. They're going to be able to get 1 power clam plus another 7 in. So an excellent first push for the Workers Union, as they are barely just a minute into this game. So now this is going to be the crab tank coming out. Looks like a member from the Grizzco Workers Union hanging out on that right side, hoping to make a move. And here it is. It's going to be Garrett that gets behind enemy lines. But no, is not going to be able to take down more than 1 person. So the trade there definitely being a bit effective, as it does stagger, or not necessarily stagger, but it does, jostle the members of UH Premier there to sort of just hesitate a little bit more. And now it looks like there was an attempt for a push there, but it's not going to result in much, as it's UH Premier that is going to once again find themselves a member down and losing access to that 1 power climb. That's going to be a little bit out of reach for them now. And look at this aggression out of Frosta with the sloshing machine. It's going to be the killer whale that's going to come out, and there's the score. That's going to erase the entire penalty for the Grizzco Workers Union. And now look at this ink back coming in. This is just an absolute bloodbath at this stage. Here comes the next power climb as well, and that's going to be in to bring the score all the way down to 24 remaining, and that will also lower the water levels of Mahi Mahi Resort. So that is going to make things a little bit not necessarily, I guess, easier. I don't think the water levels tend to change too much on this map mode, but it definitely forces you to play things just slightly differently. And look at this, with the brush going down now, the bubble coming out as well, and that's gonna be 2 power clams thrown towards the basket, but only one of them is gonna be scored. The ink back coming out, the sloshing machine trying to get in the way, and is able to dodge that ink back shot and take down that blaster. An excellent job there by Frosta once again to open up an opportunity for the Grizzco Workers Union to respond very quickly here, following that one and done push by UH Premier, and they have the clams to knock this one out. Can they do it? They have a power clam, but it's not going to get close enough to the basket to score. They need 4 clams to knock this one out, but it's not going to be this time around. 1:40 to go, and UH Premier with 12 clams to their name make that 20 as they pick up that second power clam, and they need to find an opportunity to work their way towards this basket. Couple bombs gonna be thrown out as well, and there is the Ink Zuka that's coming out, and that's not going to be able to find anybody, it looks like. A little bit of pressure here with this brush. Garrett going to get pressured and finally shut down there by the Junior. The Junior playing this pretty aggressively here, able to find a second, hoping to get a third with the big bubbler coming down, but there possibly could have been a little bit of lag there, as it was the Splatling that was able to shoot down that Junior. And that is going to be an excellent stop once more for the Grizzco Workers Union. That Inkback trying to find a couple of picks as well, along with this Crab Tank. So now here comes UH Premier finding that second pick and 3 power clamps to their name. The first 2 go in. That's going to wipe their penalty and add 30 to the scoreboard. There's the third power clamp. 2 down on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union. And it looks like UH Premier might have an opportunity to tighten this game even more. Here comes the clams piling in another 5 clams. They need 2 more to take the lead, but no, they're only going to get 1 of those 2 in. And with 15 seconds to go, this is a 2-point game with the Grizzco Workers Union on the verge of taking this one, as UH Premier does not have much time to build up a power clamp to extend this one into overtime. 5 seconds to go and only 7 clams to their name. They're passing around clams. Can they get it together in time? No, it's not going to happen, as UH Premier is going to fall just shy of tying the set. Grizzco Workers Union going up 2-0. And there we go. Gotta hit that quad dab again. You gotta love it when teams have that type of coordination there, where everyone just says, "Hey, everyone, let's go ahead and equip that dab," because we want it to be known that every time we win a game, we have that level of coordination. I don't know. It's a weird type of, like, I guess, intimidation almost. And wow, look at it, this lobby just completely empty out here. Oh, substitutions coming in left and right out of both of these teams. We had mentioned that the Grizzco Workers Union is a team that is 8 deep. Meanwhile, UH Premier 6 deep themselves. So very extensive rosters for both of these teams, and we're going to be seeing quite a few different adjustments here. Krona going to be coming back in for Wooster, and I think so many people stepped out at once. I was not even able to track who exactly was coming out, who's coming back in. So taking a look here, so it's going to be Krona and I believe L are the main adjustments for this game as we get geared up for Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard. So Rainmaker Sturgeon, we love and notice one from Splatoon 2. And with the addition of checkpoints and whatnot, certainly makes this one a little bit more interesting to strategize with, and along with a couple of other slight changes that really narrow the number of route options. The sponge notably being taken away from Splatoon 2, as well as the ability to climb the wall near where that first checkpoint is, looking at the pink side on the right of that first checkpoint. Sorry, the right of the right checkpoint. But let's take a look at these compositions now. We do have a Flingza roller that's going to be coming out from the Grizzco Workers Union, who will be in the light blue here. UH Premier in the pink. And it's going to be the Grizzco Workers Union with the early grab of the Rainmaker, able to bring that to just about 85 remaining. They were trying to take that top spinner to try to give themselves some height advantage to work with, but ultimately going to get shut down there as this Flingza is going to be bringing out some missiles, but quickly shut down by that crab tank. And the crab tank is just so effective right now in this meta. Definitely something that we are going to continue to see a lot of. I could certainly say that with experience playing Flutie earlier, going up against 3 splashes at once, which was quite the experience. But let's take a look at this Rainmaker. It's going to be the first checkpoint that will fall in favor of the Grizzco Workers Union. But they are going to find themselves 1 member down. They're going to pick up this Rainmaker and, actually, sorry, my apologies. They did not complete the first checkpoint the first time. I believe it was the Charger that ended up shutting them down, but finally going to be able to complete the checkpoint once and for all. And the Brush going to get shut out here. And look at this. It's the Rainmaker that's going to be carried all the way down to 31 points remaining. UH Premier still finding themselves a bit staggered almost, but ultimately going to get 3 down, and that's going to shut down this push once and for all for the Grizzco Workers Union. So that's going to buy UH Premier a little bit of time to just breathe a little bit. 2 minutes in, and they were just constantly dealing with this rush from the Grizzco Workers Union, and definitely caused them to kind of stagger a little bit. They were trying to figure out, like, who needs to be where to stop these pushes. So finally gonna have an opportunity to get control of mid, pick up this Rainmaker, and start adding points to the board. And take a look at this flank from Neptune on the right side, but that's going to be shut down. The missiles coming out, and that's going to shut down this Rainmaker, but they are able to make the jump. So with Chudoro here, going to be sharking just a little bit. It looks like that players from the Grizzco Workers Union might be aware that there's a player here, and they're going to be throwing some bombs, and that's going to shut down 3 3. And take a look at Neptune. Neptune with a huge triple there to shut this one down. And that's going to be the Charger going down as well. And the Grizzco Workers Union are on their way. And that's going to be another 8 points added to the scoreboard. And this push is not yet over as UH Premier finds themselves 2 down. And look at this. It's another double. And that should be the knockout. They just need to climb this pedestal. And that will do it. There's the knockout for the Grizzco Workers Union as they take this set to 3-0, 2 games away from the Division 3 Grand Finals. Oh man, wow. What a game 3 there. So I'm taking a look at, what these teams, had going for them there. It seemed like the Grizzco Workers Union has really started to find their footing more and more in this set. They had excellent game 1s and 2 in this set, but game 3 I think was by far their best performance. They were able to knock out there in game number 1, like we said. Game 2 was certainly very, very close at the end. So UH Premier is right there with them, but they just haven't found a way to completely close this out just yet. So UH Premier, though, is starting to run out of time almost to try to fight their way back into this set. They're slowly running out of mistakes that can be made, as they don't want to find themselves in a reverse sweep situation. That is certainly a very scary spot to be in, especially in a best of 9, because I mean, we could talk about reverse sweeps and, best of 3s, best of 5s. Those are all, very difficult tasks nonetheless, but very doable. Not saying that best of 9 reverse sweep isn't doable. It has certainly been done time and time again, particularly in Ludi, which will be starting up very soon. So reminder to teams to sign up for Ludi, as I believe those signups are closing very soon, if not already. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and start looking towards game number 4 as these teams ready up very quickly for Tower Control Mincemeat Metalworks. Let's take a look at these compositions. RKT Fuel bringing the Hydra back. And it looks like we are only going to have 1 Crab Tank on the field from Chudoro. So very interesting comps here. I actually really like UH Premier, what they're bringing out with the Crab Tank and E-Leader combination. This is a very good set of weapons to utilize in this map mode in particular. Mincemeat just favors backlines so much. I have seen Tri-Sloshers actually have a pretty solid effect here, but you need to be able to execute things just right. But this composition will give UH Premier the slight edge in this early game, as they do find themselves in first control of the tower, going all the way down to 93 remaining. So not much of a big push here, but they have sort of established their presence in mid and said, hey, we're here and it's going to be pretty difficult for you guys to break through us. So they're just going to have to continue to play this one a little bit safe as their E-Leader does go down. Your life continues to be your most important asset. And now with that splatter shot going down, it's going to be an opportunity for the Grizzco Workers Union to get some control here. But look at the Crab Tank. The Crab Tank is going to be able to find a couple of members of the Grizzco Workers Union, and they are going to shut down any union talks here, as now it's going to be UH Premier back in control of mid, looking to get control of this tower and start riding it along. It's a 1-point game. A minute and a half into this game, neither team has quite made any strides here, but look, it's going to be 2 down, and this will be an opportunity for UH Premier to get this tower going. But no, it's the Hydra that's going to make things a little bit difficult for them. They're having some issues here trying to push up, but they do have the bubbler that's finally able to establish itself. And now this should be the first checkpoint that falls their way. And it will. 2v2 is the current state of this one, as it's going to be another down on the side of UH Premier. Grizzco Workers Union back in control of this tower, pushing that to the first checkpoint, and they're looking to force their way through this one, just like UH Premier did, and they will. Will they get the lead? Yes, they will, and they pop the bubble after the checkpoint, and that is an excellent move. If you're able to safely ride through that checkpoint, pop that bubble after, and you should be able to ride an extra about 20 points is what we're seeing. And no, this push is still going. Second checkpoint will now fall in favor of the Grizzco Workers Union, and this tower is going to keep chugging along. And the Booyah Bomb also coming out now. The specials just going to make this one really difficult. The bubble also coming out once again. And this one should make it pretty difficult for UH Premier to get back control of this tower. But they will do it. They get the delayed wipe. And they're going to buy themselves another couple minutes to try to get back this lead. But they have once again created a mountain for their team to climb. They have to take this tower coast to coast, as this tower is going to slowly reset. Trying to get this one back to mid, establish a little bit of paint control, getting a fair bit of purple back on the field. And I don't know if they realize that Splatter Shot is playing from the left of them. They're going to be pushing that E-Leader, and the E-Leader making the choice to drop there. I don't know if that was quite the right play, as it's going to be the Junior that's now trying to ride this tower. A little bit of a risky situation. I'm surprised that this Junior is actually still alive. The Booyah Bomb going to push them out and ultimately just barely clip them enough to get the kill. So it's but look at this though, it's 2 down on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union. It's going to be UH Premier that maintains a fair bit of control of this tower. And with the crab tank taking out another member, and there's another member going down. So now it's UH Premier that is starting to close the gap. They still have 2 checkpoints to clear if they want to get back this lead. But it looks like it's Grizzco Workers Union that's going to continue to play from behind, as they just continuously set up these flanks, making it very difficult. The crab tank going to be set up on the plat of Grizzco, and that's going to surprise a couple members, but that is a little bit of a dangerous situation to be setting up that crab tank, and we saw exactly what happens there when you sort of take that risk. But take a look at this now. It is going to be a 1v1. Make that a 1v2 between the Splatter Shot, the Flingza, and the Junior on the side of Grizzco. 39 points remaining. They do clear that second checkpoint, but with 10 seconds to go, UH Premier only has seconds left to get back on this tower and extend this game to prevent the 0-4 deficit. And here we go. That's going to be 2 down. Make that 3 down. It's only the Flingza standing. The Flingza trying to play this game very patiently. Looks like they're going to be trying to build up some missiles here to try to scatter the members of UH Premier. Able to get really close here. Here comes the missiles now, popping all of them. And that's going to force the members to jump off this tower. And that's going to be a wipeout. The missiles do it. And that's going to be the Grizzco Workers Union surviving game number 4 once again and taking a 4-0 lead in this set. All right, my apologies, folks. We are back in session here. So, looking towards game number 5 now. It's the Grizzco Workers Union that is up 4-0. UH Premier, like I said, they continue to be in these games, but end up finding themselves a lot of time in these massive deficits that are just a little bit too much to overcome. So they're now finding themselves in the biggest deficit that they could create for themselves in this set, 0-4. It's certainly not over, but they have to take this game by game, as they are looking towards Splat Zone's Inkblot Art Academy to extend their chance to punch their ticket to grand finals. Now, with this one, this one's definitely very tricky because it's so lockout heavy. With Splat Zone's Inkblot in general can be a very lockout heavy map mode combination, but Splat Zones in particular can be so tricky to come back from. You really need to make sure you don't get wiped, because if you do, that opens the door for the other team to set up camp in your on your plat and work their way into your bats. It's ends up being like you're trying to get rid of some termites in your home. It's very difficult, and it's just a very stressful process, and they kind of just overtake everything. So that's going to be something to watch out for in this game. The moment that you get wiped, the other team should be immediately pushing up onto plat. And take a look at this. It is going to be the Hydra mirror match, and LPS also bringing out the arrow spray, a weapon that you certainly don't get to see a whole lot of in this game. An excellent painter that you would see a lot of times in maybe Turf War. And Splat Zones, I guess, is just the competitive version of that, but even then you don't get to see a whole lot of it. But early on, it's doing an excellent job of holding this wall and painting turf as much as it can, and it will be UH Premier that gets first control of this zone. And take a look at this. It's they actually have some of the members scattered a little bit, but it's going to be L. L is going to take 2 members down while going down themselves, and UH Premier is going to extend this early lead. It's going to be the Aerospray, and Aerospray is going to help shred through that Booyah Bomb. The Booyah Bomb does get laid down, and that's going to be another pick. And UH Premier is on a roll, going all the way down to 40 points remaining. It's going to be Justin on that VDS that's trying to help neutralize things, get a couple of picks as well, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of UH Premier. So their run in this first minute is over, as UH Premier had an excellent first push there, but now it's going to be up to the Grizzco Workers Union to respond, and they're doing an excellent job of that so far. They continue to find a couple of picks here and there, as Necro going to be coming out of that right alley, trying to utilize some of that range to pick off any members that might be gearing a little bit towards that direction. But doesn't seem like anybody is quite there, as LPS going to be sharking and not going to be able to find anybody there. Churro with that crab tank trying to find a couple picks, but no, it's going to now be the Grizzco Workers Union that takes the lead here, and time is quickly starting to run out for UH Premier to extend this set. They had such a good first push, but now they're gonna have, but now their backs are completely against the wall. And there's the second pick. So this should be the zone flipping in favor of UH Premier, but Frosta doing everything they can to prevent that from happening. Finally, it's going to be the zone exchanging, but UH Premier loses 2 of their members in the process, as now it's going to be the Grizzco Workers Union that flips the zone back to neutral. 63-point penalty, massive penalty to have to overcome, as we do see UH Premier only with 36, losing control there, and now going to be having a 46-point penalty instead. 2 down on the side of Grizzco Workers Union is going to allow the zone back in favor of UH Premier. Trying to chip away at that penalty right now. Their tactical are going to be coming out. The NZAP able to grab it before going down. So, oh, actually not, because they are not responding very quickly here at all. So not going to be able to grab that tactical. I'm not sure if anybody from that team was able to take advantage of that, but nonetheless able to still find 2 picks and control of the zone. Once again, working on that 63-point penalty slowly but surely. And it's going to give UH Premier some time to get back in here, but they have to be very careful. They can't be making any silly mistakes, CCL going to find themselves with a couple of members to face up against, but Frosta is going to do an excellent job of shutting that down, and it's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of the Grizzco Workers Union, as that Booyah Bomb is going to help them maintain some control. Churro is trying to paint this left side of the zone with Necro, and Necro with the Hydra dropping down. Definitely a very risky choice here, and they're going to be punished for it. But no, it's going to be UH Premier that holds on to this zone, but once again find themselves 3 down. It seems like UH Premier just continues to fight back here, but they have yet to find themselves in the same type of numbers advantage that we saw in the opening minute of this game. Frosta trying to put the nail in the coffin here, but no, it's going to be 2 down on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union. The Booyah Bomb going to be coming out as well to try to displace some of the members of UH, but ultimately they're going to neutralize that zone, but it's Grizzco that holds on actually. And take a look at this, it's the Hydra going down, a huge pick. Frosta once again making a move with Justin up onto the plat. If they can find a pick or 2 here, this game will certainly be over. But no, it's LPS that's able to find 2. But no, and now with 3 down, it's only the Hydra. But can UH neutralize this zone in time? It is going to be close. Buckle your seatbelts, everybody. These last 20 seconds are going to be a thriller here on Inkblot Art Academy. 2 down on the side of UH Premier once more. They're struggling to hold on to this zone and hold on to the opportunity to extend this set. And take a look at this, it's UH Premier with lots of paint on this zone. But can UH Premier hold on to the zone? Their time is quickly running out, but no, they're gonna go 3 down, and that should do it. Grizzco Workers Union wins the set and advances to Grand Finals. My goodness. What a set, folks, between these 2 teams. And once more, gotta hit him with the dab there. Gotta celebrate this win. An excellent job there from the Grizzco Workers Union for being able to put away this set. I mean, this really kind of gives me some flashbacks to that Division 1 semi-final from earlier in the weekend between the Night Sharks of the University of Central Florida and the Husky Spotsville Knights from the University of Washington. They did the Night Sharks, my apologies, were able to come in clutch and clutch and clutch again, and I really see that same resemblance here with the Grizzco Workers Union of Worcester Polytechnic Institute. You know, all these games were incredibly close, so close, but it just was that clutch factor. They were able to make just the right adjustments to respond to everything that UH Premier was throwing at them. So even though that the scoreboard is going to ultimately say 5-0 in favor of the Grizzco Workers Union, I really think UH Premier should give themselves a pat on the back for that one. They put up such a fantastic effort and fought back every single game. They had very meaningful pushes in all 5 games, in my opinion. So I don't think that they should, definitely be, upset or, embarrassed or anything like that. Like that was a phenomenal effort. And I think with just maybe a little bit more, coordination and a little bit more time together, these 2 teams would make fantastic scrim partners, and this could be the start of a wonderful rivalry. So certainly continue to be on the lookout for UH Premier. Now, with all that said and done, yes, Dio. Yes, these teams are essentially going to be scrimming right now. So we do have, in true CCA fashion, these teams have agreed to do a play all 9. So for the record, this is going down in the books as a 5-0 victory in favor of the Grizzco Workers Union. However, just for sportsmanship and for the love of the game, we like to encourage teams to, play all the games if you can. It's always just a good opportunity. We have the teams here. We have a map list. Let's play this one out. And that's exactly what these teams will do. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a friendly game 6. And this is going to be Clam Blitz on Museum de Alfonsino. Taking a look at these compositions here, we do see Justin bringing out that splash. So we're going to have some crab on crab action here. As well as Krona bringing out that splat charger, able to find one there, but ultimately going to get shut down by, of course, the crab tank. And take a look at this, actually. It's UH Premier that's making the early move here, finding 3 down, but don't quite have the clams in the right places to make a push happen quite yet. Quite a few clams to their name, though, as they had, I think, about 10 going for them. But with 2 down, that's going to really spell the end of this push once and for all, as that's going to end up being a delayed wipe. So fantastic effort in the opening minute for UH Premier to almost get a push there. But even better defense and response by the Grizzco Workers Union to make sure that push doesn't even happen in the first place. And now they have 3 specials to work with. That bomb going to bounce off the corner of the spinner, going absolutely nowhere. With these specials, though, they should be able to find a way to push onto plat. They're using these specials, but not actually finding anything. And no, with the pick there from L, that's going to allow UH Premier to get in control of mid. They have 3 specials of their own. Of course, as I say that, the splatter shot goes down. So, but they will be able to utilize these other 2 specials to get themselves in hopefully a pretty good position here, as we will see a 1-for-1 there. Not necessarily a true trade between players, but a trade between teams nonetheless. 2 power clams in the pockets of Worcester, as they are the team in blue. UH Premier in orange. Sitting back right now, 2 down, gearing up for a defensive effort. And take a look at this. It's going to be the Reef Slider coming in, and we've seen this one before. And this Reef Slider is going to open things up for the Grizzco Workers Union to get their first push going. But they're only going to be able to get 1 of those 2 power clams in. Justin, being the last player standing, will be forced to back up. And with that crab tank, able to take down 1 member, but not able to get anything else. I think they really did optimize that situation, though, being the last player standing. Sometimes in those situations, your options are really to jump out, shark, or fight for your life. And they opted to go ahead and take that fight there. They took down 1 member, bought enough time for the rest of the team to come in and try to take down a second. So that's really all you could ask for in that situation. That is definitely a win for Grizzco Workers Union there. But this still continues to be a merely 1 possession game. And take a look at this. It's actually the Brush. It's Necro with the blaster. That's able to come up there. I think that might have been L and got the initial pop. Necro tried to follow up, but was not able to get it done there. So, sometimes that's really what you need to do. Brushes are fantastic playmakers, particularly with for Clam Blitz, as they are able to just surprise opponents. They move so fast that it's so difficult to realize where they are before it's way too late, and that's exactly what they did. Unfortunately for UH Premier, though, not able to get the follow-up. So they will be 1 point behind, just looking almost reminiscent here of that first Clam Blitz game on Mahi Mahi Resort in game number 2. Grab Tank coming out as well now. And take a look at this. It's going to be the second power clam being scored once again by L. And that will give UH Premier the lead here in game number 6. And that's, kind of what they just need at this point. Now they're going to have to play some solid defense for the remaining 50 seconds. And with Museum de Alfonsino, that is 100% doable. You just have to be very cautious There is also a brush on the other side, so whatever you're doing to them, they can do the exact same thing to you. And this Tetris is also going to make things pretty difficult, but that's actually a crucial pick for them, as they're able to shut down those Tetras before they could build up that Reef Slider. The Reef Slider is actually what cost them last time on the first push. The Reef Slider came in, popped, and allowed the jump to come in. Very effective method for getting some surprise pushes going. And now it's going to be 3 down on the side of UH Premier. So this is going to be their last stand. We will see overtime here, folks, as this power clam is going to have about 15 seconds to work their way towards this basket. If they pop the basket, they win the game. And here comes the jump. Can they get this in? No, it's going to be Crota that jumps in, but not able to get that power clam. 2 people going down. Make that 3 on the side of the Grizzco Workers Union. Garrett, the last person standing, going to try to make a jump for this power clam. They grab it, and they score it! Wow! What on earth? I don't know how Garrett managed to make that play. I am speechless. UH Premier essentially had one job there in the final seconds of overtime. That clam was essentially a goner, but Garrett manages to sneak in. They just didn't know where they were, and ultimately it fell apart. UH Premier was in the best position that they had been. And no, I take that back. Not the best position they've been in all set, because that was only a 1 clam game. But a great position nonetheless, that they just lost track of Garrett. Garrett doing an excellent job there of making the hero play for the Grizzco Workers Union. So they will take game number 6 as well. And these teams, once again, going to be shuffling it up here in the lobby. Gotta get some water into my system here. So solo commentary brought to you by my throat in pain. But it is all good. Definitely wanted to ensure that we continue to get as many of these sets on stream as possible. So you know, doing whatever it is we gotta do, because we really want to be able to ensure that all these teams, you know, get the coverage that they deserve. Because this collegiate scene isn't going away anytime soon. We only hope to continue to build that up. So I'm more than happy to just continue being the streamer and even solo commentator if I have to. I know on this very busy Thanksgiving weekend, you know, everybody's incredibly busy. It's almost a miracle that some of these matches are even taking place, as I know the majority of matches will be taking place during this upcoming week. So be sure to keep an eye on our Twitter at CCA_Splatoon. That is probably the best place to know when a match is coming up, as well as in our Discord server, which you can find in the description underneath our channel, you know, under the stream. There we go. The stream requests channel is probably the best place to get an idea of what matches are coming up, as well, see what teams are playing and when those are taking place. So, but let's go ahead and dive into game number 7. This is going to be Rainmaker Hagglefish Market. RKT bringing out the E leader. A splatter scope coming up from Necro, and that's gonna be an unfavorable matchup, especially with that Flingza coming out as well from Krona. So that's gonna make things very difficult if you are a backline looking at that composition. But early on, it is going to be UH Premier that has control of this Rainmaker. or sorry, not control the Rainmaker yet. Looks like they're getting geared up to grab it here, especially getting 2 down. This will be their opportunity to start progressing towards this first checkpoint. This Crab Tank going to do an excellent job of shutting down those missiles, and that'll be the first checkpoint falling in favor of UH Premier. Now, I know I'm definitely a bit critical sometimes of teams that go straight for that first checkpoint, but that's the exact situation in which you do want to make a move for that center checkpoint as opposed to the one on the far left. And they're going to push that all the way to 32 remaining as well. I think they were possibly looking at taking the jump there from the first checkpoint onto the plat, but weren't able to quite make that jump cleanly, as we're going to get some Charger versus Charger action here on the right-hand side. Rainmaker going to push its way up close to that first checkpoint, but no cigar there. It's going to be Garrett on that 52 gal that's trying to hold position here on the far right side of this map. Rona coming into support, but ultimately going to get shut down. It's going to be Rish that's able to roll over Garrett and take them down. So now this will be an opportunity for UH Premier to once again get some solid map control here and look to possibly add some points to the board. Taking a look here, it's going to be Rish that's finding 1 pick, trying to look for the second, able to get the second there, make that a double now. So this Rainmaker going to be picked up, and are they swinging this to the left side? Yes, they will. Churro in possession of that Rainmaker, but it's going to be the Killer Whale that's coming out, trying to slow things down. Krona right above both of these members of UH Premier, and that Rainmaker is going to stall exactly at 32 points remaining. So with Necro being the last person alive, this push should certainly be over. The missiles coming out to make sure that it certainly is the case, and it will now be the Union back in control of this Rainmaker. Looking at the second half of this match, still got to break through that first checkpoint and push it. I think if they could actually get that center checkpoint and jump it on the plat, that might just be enough to get the lead. RKT being pressured by this Killer Whale, doing an excellent job of dodging, but now triggering that don't retreat signal, which is going to speed up that Rainmaker timer, making it a lot more difficult to get any sort of push going, and that will actually be a shutdown there. So 2 down on the side of the Workers Union, and that's going to be a 3rd down. And take a look at this now. It's going to be Rish once again all the way up on this plat, trying to cause some trouble here, get a couple of additional picks, but the Charger going to be pushing them out. It looks like they're now going to be pressured. The Charger going to go down, actually. So this will be a huge opportunity for UH Premier to make a move, but Churro not really ready to make any sort of push happen here, as the missiles are going to push them back. Surprisingly not triggering that don't retreat sign, actually. So I guess they aren't far back enough from where it was initially picked up to make that happen. But 80 seconds to go. It's a 3v2. 20 seconds left on this Rainmaker timer. And now it's going to be the Wavebreaker coming out as well, trying to disrupt things. Gonna go ahead and echolocate as if the Rainmaker was not already enough there. And that's gonna be 1 pick. But with only 7 seconds left on this Rainmaker timer, the rest of the team just needs to get out of the way. But RKT could actually do the UH Premier a favor here and go ahead and shut down that Rainmaker. Oh, but look at this! It's a triple! Wow! Who was that? Was that L? Yeah, that was L. L might have had a quad there. I'm not quite certain, but suddenly it went from a 4-2 advantage to a 1-2 disadvantage. And now Necro with 15 seconds to go. It's a 2v2. Missiles coming out, trying to shut down this Rainmaker one more time, but Necro going to swing all the way back. Holding on to this Rainmaker with 3 seconds to go. That is going to be the Rainmaker falling, but with no one nearby, UH Premier will clutch this one out. Whew. All right. 2 more games to go here in this play all 9. Currently standing at 6 for Grizzco Workers Union, 1 for UH Premier. Scoreboard's going to stay as it is, though, because that is the final count of this official set. But for the record, in this play all 9, we're looking at 6-1 right now. All right. Chugged in another almost full glass of water here. Ready to go for another game here. Tower Control Hammerhead Bridge. Game number 8. Both of these teams have I mean, part of it is that their rosters are just so extensive. I'm not even quite sure how many different people we have seen in this set. It's at least 10, I think. Well, it's certainly 10, because for each side they've definitely had at least 1 sub apiece, I believe. But the number of subs here is absolutely crazy. We are not collecting stats on Division 3, but I would certainly love to see some stats here for this, to just see how many different players have been substituted in, and the impact of each individual player, and the weapon choices, the KAs, all that stuff. So you know, I will just take this opportunity to make this my plea for Nintendo to add stats back up at the top for spectator view, because that would be so wonderful to see, to be able to keep track of that live in game. And that's also part of the reason that we are doing stats for Division 1, which has been an absolutely fantastic project that we hope to be able to share to some extent with you all in the near future. And the stats project has also been, you know, fairly successful. So, you know, something that we are hoping to start considering expanding in the future as well. So hopefully teams like UH Premier and Grizzco Workers Union can start to take a look at some of their stats as well. But it is time for game number 8. Power Control on Hammerhead Bridge. And noticeably here, we have a Slosher and a Splattershot Pro, and what is UH Premier coming out with? They have 2 Octobrushes and a Carbon Roller. These are some comps for sure. Octobrush, you know, I think can certainly do some damage here. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to work on the tower specifically, but oh my goodness, the roller is going to be crushing each other there, as now it is going to be Wooster getting first control of this tower, and this first checkpoint will fall for free. Some of these first checkpoints in Splatoon 3 just so close to center of the map that it's pretty easy for those to fall in a lot of these stages. Missiles coming out now, but it is going to be the Workers Union that loses 2 of their own, as now I also realize now with the Carbon and the 2 Octobrushes, that results in triple Zipcaster, which is a very interesting choice here. You know, I do like the option to have a Zipcaster on your team, especially on Hammerhead, because there are just so many walls that you're able to grab and get behind your opponent. 3 might be a little bit overkill. 3 I think is certainly overkill, but you know, I definitely can see this comp actually working in some capacity. You know, they've managed to at least clear that first checkpoint here so far, but they're not going to be able to help with this second checkpoint on the defensive end. I do think this comp actually makes a great offense, but defense is certainly going to be a challenge for them, as it is the third checkpoint that is falling now. And with only the heavy left standing, that's going to be the third checkpoint that falls, and this will be the last stand. Can they make a move? No, it's actually going to be both members, Frosta and Garrett, that step off the tower to try to make an offensive push there. But no, if one of them had stayed on the tower, that probably would have resulted in a knockout. But now they're going to have to let this tower reset and start all over again. Slosher utilizing that reach to work those ledges, picking off that Octobrush. That there's going to be a jump out there from UH Premier as well. A couple of bombs coming out, trying to put some ink and some pressure on UH Premier as well. And with this triple ink strike now, this should cause some more havoc, as the Octobrush is going to pressure that Slosher away. Zip casting now, but going to get shut down pretty quickly. A very difficult special to use, but it's L that's going to be using that Zip caster so effectively, actually. And I love that bit of diversion there. The first Zip caster comes in. You say, sweet, we got the Octobrush, got the Zip caster. But no, all along it was a diversion for that second Zip caster to come in and work from behind, surprising the members of the Grizzco Workers Union. And the Brush gonna find another pick here. The Flings are going down. Able to get a nice second pick there. Can they get the third? Yes, they will. That's gonna be a triple. Can they get the fourth? They're looking for it. They want this fourth pick so bad. They're going to find a fourth pick. I don't think that's necessarily a true quad, as I believe that is a repeat pick on the Flingza, but a quad nonetheless, as now it is L that is on a tear, leading their team through this second checkpoint. The Heavy is now working this tower. The third checkpoint might be falling here, but they have to get rid of the Slosher. The Slosher is going to be able to stay standing, and no, it's going to be down to L, but L is not going to be able to make the hero play once more, as Frosta comes up huge to stop this tower push. "20 seconds to go. Flingza with missiles ready, certainly trying to hold on to them for as long as possible, just in case UH Premier is able to make one more push, especially with these with this tower so central. Their team can easily just hop on the tower with following up on these missiles, but I think that those missiles might have come just a little bit too early, and they are going to pay the price for it, as that is going to be 2 down. Make that 3 down on the side of Grizzco Workers Union. And here comes one more Zip caster. Necro trying to get a couple of picks here. Not able to find any, but it is going to safely get out of there. And now it's the Slosher to try to make one more hero play, but no, that's not going to be the case. And they need to get on this tower, and that's going to be a trade. A huge trade there. I'm not sure if Necro didn't get on that tower, I don't think they would have been able to actually hold on, and they need to push that tower one more, but no, they let it go! What? Oh my goodness. How? How did the Grizzco Workers Union steal that tower? That was UH Premier's to lose at the last moment. We need to see a replay of that at some point. I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened. An excellent play there from the Grizzco Workers Union to stop that push at the exact last moment. That the game was tied at eight remaining each, and they only needed one more point to secure the overtime lead. But per the rules of Splatoon, the first team to get to a certain score has the right to that score. So with UH Premier losing control of that tower at 8 remaining, the game ultimately goes to Grizzco Workers Union. And it pushes UH Premier score back 1 point, so that way they get the ultimate call there. 92-91. I am just flabbergasted. I have no idea how that even happened. And it's quite impressive, actually. So, as it stands, going into Game 9, in the friendly part of now this 9-game set, this best of 9, it is technically what are we looking at? 7-1. So Grizzco has won 7 games. UH Premier has won 1, but of course, going down in the record books as a 5-0 victory. Grizzco Workers Union winning games 1 through 5 to close out that set. And now we are going to one final game for fun here. Splat Zones, Mako Mart. These teams continue to make adjustments, taking these games seemingly just as serious as the other games. An excellent opportunity to scrim each other. You know, UH Premier has always been in, I think, pretty much all of these games. Okay, all right, you know, I take back what I said about the seriousness. All right, folks, here we go. We've got one final game for you all, and in also true CCA fashion, game number 9, letting loose and having fun here. We have the Octobrellas coming out now. And everybody also rocking, half of the people in this lobby rocking that fish head. You know, one of the most elaborate pieces of headgear that this wonderful game has to offer us. And oh boy, yeah, Reef Slider being the main weapon, Ink Mines being the subs. This is the first, actually. No team in CCA history, I don't think, has ever gone for Octo Tentabrella for a meme match here. We always tend to see the more staple weapons, you know, such as GooTuber, Explosher, Bow, in Splatoon 3 at least Bow. But first time we are certainly getting something like this, and I love that this choice, particularly with those Ink Mines and Reef Sliders, because if these teams want, they can just litter this Splat Zone with Ink Mines and make it virtually impossible to flip the zone. Oh, and that's a beautiful Reef Slider there, able to take out 2 members. And the second Reef Slider coming in, not going to be able to find much there, though. Ink Mine being set. A nice Reef Slider there. I think they could have waited till they dropped down to maximize the efficacy of that Reef Slider. $36 points to go. It's the Grizzco Workers Union that continues to be in control. Finally, it's UH Premier though, flipping it back, tacking on 45 points to the penalty. And now UH Premier trying to find an opportunity to get back in the zone. Oh, and they all unleash it at once, but they all get shut down. What? Oh, I love that they attempted that. It's gonna fall a little bit short though. Somehow Grizzco Workers Union gets away with surviving that. but I love the effort that they put into that one. Oh, wow. Grizzco Workers Union taking game 9 and winning the control of the Brellas. Not really sure what was necessarily at stake with this one, but that was quite the entertaining match, though. That I am very appreciative that these teams did that for us. Oh boy. that was one of the games of all time. It certainly was one of them. But in all seriousness, that was actually a lot of fun. So appreciative of these teams for doing that for us in these last games to keep things fun for us here at the CCA. But alas, that is going to conclude this 9-game set. So once again, congratulations to the Grizzco Workers Union for winning this set 5-0. They now await the winner of Daybreak from the University of Texas at Austin, who will be going up against the Titans of Alterna from Cal State Fullerton. So that matchup will be taking place sometime this week. So I believe that that logistic is still being worked on. The Thanksgiving holiday disrupting a lot of matches this weekend. So that will go ahead and do it for us. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Of course, UH Premier, they're not done quite yet. There is still a 3rd place matchup that they can win for pride and glory. So they will face the loser of that same exact matchup between Daybreak and Titans of Alterna. And alas, with that said, my throat is starting to give out, so I believe it is time for us to close the curtains here. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been DRF. If you would like to follow me on platforms or whatever, Twitter at DRF_Splatoon, and hopefully on Twitch soon, Triton DRF. You're probably more likely to find me here on the CCA Twitch channel than my own Twitch channel, but we'll plug that nonetheless. So if you aren't already following, please consider doing so. It would be greatly appreciated, as we have plenty more matchups this week and our championship weekend coming up December 3rd and 4th, where all of the grand finals will be taking place for each of our 5 divisions. Wow. I think that's taken every bit of breath out of me. But one more time, thank you all so much for watching. Congrats once more to the Grizzco Workers Union. Be sure to tune in for more semifinals matchups this week. You sure will not want to miss it. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, everybody. And we will see you very soon.